Hello everybody, it's vanburman here, and today I wanted to talk about football, or Arsenal in particular, seeing as, that's the club that I support and everything. So, there's been a lot of stuff going around in the news recently about Jack Wilshere. As we all know, he's whether you like him or loathe him, he is a talented footballer, and he is probably one of England's best prospects, along with, as far as I'm concerned, the player that represents the fans on the pitch when he goes out and when he steps onto the pitch in an Arsenal shirt. He's born and bred an Arsenal player. Alright, he might have supported West Ham, but he's well drilled in with the club's philosophy and its way of playing, and everything else that goes along with it. So, it's always good to see Jack on the pitch. Anyway, the point I wanted to talk about today was whether he should be deployed in a defensive midfield role for Arsenal. Now, he's obviously had some good success with it for England. I thought that the ball for Oxlade-Chamberlain to score that glancing header against Scotland in the 3-1 victory was absolutely superb. No one else could have picked a better pass. That was the perfect pass for that situation. I thought the Ox did pretty well in glancing it in as well. He was only a small guy, but he did well with it. But that ball in was perfect, basically, for that move. And there's no reason why he can't develop his game along that lines. Now, I can sort of see where Wenger comes with the fact that he sees him as more of an attacking player. And he is very attacking, he does like to get forward. But with Jack coming out himself and saying that, he would like to play that role for Arsenal, I am, I'd be willing to give him a go at it, at least. If it was up to me... Actually, no, if it was up to me, I would put him there. We've got Flamini and Arteta both are getting on. Obviously, Arteta is the captain. I've always said for a very long time that I would love to see Jack as the captain. So, maybe he should be given the armband and given the position. He definitely has enough about him to do it. It's just, the only concern I have is that his discipline won't be good enough for that position. I'm not on about red and yellow cards, although that could come into it. But I was more thinking regarding his... he will have to stay back quite a lot of the time because he is the defensive cover for that area. And he needs to choose his moments very, very carefully when he does decide to push up. So with that in mind, sort of, I think it is something that we could adapt him to and play him there or at least play him there at club level and see how he does. He's obviously performing there really well for England. A lot of people have said he sort of has to perform there because he wouldn't get a more attacking role. I can see the argument in that to some degree, but he has done a really good job there for England so far. We haven't had a massive test for him to come up against and to play against as such. But qualifiers are still qualifiers. They're competitive matches, and against Scotland, whether it's a friendly or whether it's anything else, is always going to be a competitive match nonetheless. So I think he's done really well, and if I was Wenger, I would be tempted to give him the chance to play in that role if he wants to play it, and if he reckons he can play it, then put him there and see what he can do. We've got Arteta injured at the minute, and Flamini has, none of the players have really played especially well, obviously the few exceptions. So, I think a bit of a reshuffle, a bit of a rejig, might reinvigorate something else in the team as well. I would feel fairly happy with having Jack there. It also then perhaps frees up a space for Cazorla in the middle at the minute. And, then you've got either the Ox or Podolski that can take up the other wing position until Theo is fit enough. But yeah, I think it would be an interesting thing to toy with. I'd be tempted not to do it against Manchester United, or I don't know. It'd be a bit of a risk to take against Manchester United. I think I'd say you need to he would need a couple of games to adapt to that role in an Arsenal shirt. I know he's done it for England, but he's not playing with exactly the same players. On another note, though, it is really good to see so many Arsenal players getting into the England team. You know, Gibbs being finally given a chance. Yeah, okay, he wasn't before because he was injured quite a lot. The Ox has been doing really well for England. Danny Welbeck, obviously, has been scoring goals for England. So it is really good to see those players getting a chance. Obviously, Chambers has been with the squad as well. I feel like I've missed someone out. Walcott, but yeah, but Walcott's not really fit enough anyway for England duty. So yeah, let me know what you think about Whilshere's position. Like I say, I'm happy for him to be given the chance. If you think the same thing, then put a comment down below. I just think, given the time we're at the minute, you know, we're in November, we've got a whole month before the January transfer window. It's going to be a very busy month. It might be a good time to put him there and see what he can do, and it might affect what we have to do in January. Obviously, a centre-back is a massive priority, but if we could put Jack in that role and have him do really well in that role, then that would save us quite a lot as well, I think, in the transfer market. And because getting a defensive midfielder, a really top quality defensive midfielder, is going to be exceedingly difficult in January. And I'm always one from building from within and bringing, you know, some of the players through and to adapt to those positions. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you very soon.